Welcome to the weekly dose of Emuna for Shabbat Kodesh. Today we're going to discuss the Kedusha of Shabbat and where it actually comes from. We have to understand that virtually in every type of Kedusha that we know of, we have to always do something in order to feel the Kedusha come in and to be enveloped by it. And so let's just look at some kind of examples. If we look at, for instance, the Yom Tovim. The Yom Tovim, when we do something particular in the Yom Tovim by eating matzah, by lighting Hanukkah candles, by declaring the new month, right? All of these things, what we do is by doing the mitzvah, we get to earn the idea of feeling the Kedusha and feeling the closeness to Hashem Yitbarach. And what we understand from here is that whenever we need some sort of holiness to come down, we have to be the one to generate it. We have to be the initiators of it. But there's one certain type of Kedusha that's produced, so to speak, all by itself. In other words, it's given to us without any movement on our behalf to have to actually be gifted with it. And that is the Kedusha of Shabbat Kodesh. Shabbat was created by Hashem, so to speak, Hashem himself. At the beginning of creation, Zecher L'Maaseh Bereshit, right? It's a remembrance of Hashem's original act of creation. What does that mean for us? What it means for us is that we don't have to do anything but perform the two mitzvot that we are told that are connected to Shabbat Kodesh. Shamor v'zachor. We are given two ways to be able to absorb that Kedusha that's given to us as a gift every Shabbat in order to be able to really feel it. Hashem gives it to us, and we understand that it comes from Hashem, but we must do two important things. Number one, we must remember Shabbat, right? Zachor et Yom HaShabbat b'kodsho. If you're not aware that Shabbat is here, then nothing's going to help, right? You have to be aware of the amazing gift that this day gives us. The closeness that we achieve to Hashem on this day is like none other. The second thing we need to understand that we have to do is Shamor. We need to guard Shabbat. We have to understand that this is a very special, intimate time that we have, so to speak, a private audience, right? And that privacy has to be protected, right? That's one of the reasons why the non-Jews are told not to keep Shabbat, right? Because it's a private audience between king and queen when they're sitting together. So guarding Shabbat means it's just for me and for you, Hashem, right? So let's forget about everything else, Hashem. It's just me and it's you. And that's an amazing, amazing gift that we're given from Hashem. As we said before at one of our previous Shabbat audios, the day of Shabbat is derived from the word Shvita, right? This is a cessation, the total, complete, we stop to do any sort of activity, right? Because we understand that on the seventh day Hashem stopped, he rested. Well, what does that exactly mean? Shvita means he rested from the work. That doesn't really mean rest. It means he stopped. Okay, what does it mean he stopped? It means that Hashem created the world, right? Every day he created something else, heavens and earth, right? Divided the upper and the lower waters, so on and so forth. During those 6 days, Hashem was busy, so to speak. He was forming and he was creating. It was on the seventh day that Hashem said, stop. We're going to stop to create. We're going to return. Hashem, so to speak, said, I'm going to return to the state of goodness, of greatness that I'm in. I'm not anymore going to be doing anything else. I'm returning to my state of goodness, so to speak, of greatness, so to speak. And that's essentially the message of Shabbat Kodesh. 6 days, we go out, we do our business, we do whatever we have to do, right? We take the Kedusha that's present, that's available to us to take from within the world by us initiating something from here below. On Shabbat, we essentially leave that world. We return to Hashem, and we return to His world. Okay? Hashem stopped creating. He returned, so to speak, to His state of greatness. On Shabbat, we cease to live within the world, and we return to our true greatness. And that is a beautiful gift. On Shabbat, we get to achieve a meeting of ourselves, one within ourselves, right? Uverachto mikol hayamim, vekidashto mikol hazmanim. It's the most blessed and holy day of it all. But we need to also understand that we have to remember it, we have to guard it, we have to not forget the beautiful gift that Hashem gives to us. And when we sit down on Shabbat Kodesh, we have to understand whose guests we are. Let's understand that on Shabbat, we get to be a guest, so to speak, in Hashem's palace, in Hashem's world. And that gives us the opportunity to attach ourselves to infinite greatness, infinite love, and infinite dvekut to Hashem. That's the gift of Shabbat. And that's given to us without any stirring from below. That's given to us as a gift from on high, just because of the day of in it of itself, that Hashem created it for us to have and enjoy. Be'ezrat Hashem, as we prepare to enter in Shabbat Kodesh, let's remember that once we cease whatever we have to do, as we approach the candle lighting, what's given to us after candle lighting is a gift. We become the guest of Hashem, and we can cease to do what we've been doing, cease our interaction with this world, cease to think that we live within our own selves, within the spectrum of the world, but understand that we're actually a part of the greatness of Hashem, and relish in that. Be'ezrat Hashem, this Shabbat Kodesh. Have a wonderful, wonderful, meaningful Shabbat.